it's Food Nut. It's entree week again, and for this week's entree, I'm going to do a rustic flatbread pizza with Philadelphia cream cheese and roast beef and some other toppings. I think you're really going to enjoy it. And we get to use cream cheese in this recipe two different ways. We're going to do a cream cheese and butter and flour dough that we're going to talk about, that we're going to add some spices to, a lot like you would see in a focaccia bread. And so we're going to make that in a few minutes. But the other way we're going to use Philadelphia cream cheese is in the sauce itself that we're going to put on the pizza. So let's talk about what we've got. We've got Philadelphia cream cheese, butter, some cream. We've got minced garlic, tomato paste, and Parmesan cheese. I've melted all of that together to make our pizza sauce. You just put it over medium heat in a saucepan and stir pretty frequently so it doesn't stick, and it makes a really nice pizza sauce. It's not your traditional pizza sauce. It's more of a tomato Alfredo type, but I think you're really going to like the combination of flavors. So we'll look at making the dough and we'll be back. Okay, let's look at our ingredients for our pizza dough. We're going to use 8 ounces of Philadelphia cream cheese softened to room temperature. We're going to use 3/4 cup of butter that's been softened as well. We're going to mix those together well. Then we're going to add to that 1 1/4 cups all-purpose flour. We're going to stir that in, and then we're going to start adding seasonings much like you would find in a focaccia bread. We're going to add a teaspoon of garlic salt, a teaspoon of oregano, a teaspoon of dried basil, a teaspoon of dried thyme, half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of rosemary, depending on how much you like the flavor. Rosemary has a tendency to have a strong flavor in bread, so it's just to your liking, but I'm going to say a teaspoon. And then the last ingredient we're going to add to our cream cheese and flour mixture is red pepper flakes. So here we have our dough. It's the cream cheese, the butter, and the flour has been mixed together well, and then I've added all of the ingredients that we've talked about for seasoning. The next step will be to combine this well, roll it into balls. I'm going to divide this particular dough into 4 balls because I'm going to make individual sized pizzas. I'm going to roll that dough flat between 2 pieces of wax paper. I'm going to chill it for 20 minutes, and then we'll come back and look at how to finish off the pizzas. Okay, our dough's been chilling in the refrigerator for 20 minutes. So the next step is to brush it with a little bit of olive oil. Get a nice coating. And then we're going to sprinkle on some grated Parmesan cheese. I'm going to press that in a little bit. We're going to put this in the oven, bake it for 20 minutes. And we'll come back to our next step. Okay, we've had the dough in the oven for 20 minutes, and you can see that this makes a really nice flatbread. Has a lot of color to it. It has a really nice flaky texture to it. So now it's time to do the fun part and put the pizzas together. So we're going to put a little bit of our sauce that we talked about earlier together. Just put pretty large spoonful on there. Try to keep it away from the edges. Put some mozzarella cheese on there. You can't have pizza without mozzarella cheese. This is just some deli style roast beef that I've cut into some thin strips. I'm going to put that on. And then from this point on, you could use just any of your favorite toppings. I think what I'm going to show you today is one you should try because I think you'll like it. This is just some chopped fresh spinach. Has a nice complementary flavor to the roast beef and the sauce that's on there. I'm going to put a few black olives on. Leave them off if you don't like them, but we enjoy them. These are some roasted red pepper strips. We're going to put those on there. A few mushrooms. A little bit of more mozzarella on top, and these are ready to go in the oven. So you've already baked your flatbread, so all you've got to do at this point is just melt your cheese and warm up your toppings. So I'm going to put it in the oven, and I'll be back in about 10 minutes. Thanks. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes, and as you can see, our toppings are melted, and our cheese is melted, and our toppings are warm. So our flatbread pizza featuring Philadelphia cream cheese in the sauce and Philadelphia cream cheese in the crust is ready. I hope you try this recipe. I think it'll be a crowd pleaser. Enjoy.